Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori Brame and I talk about lupus and depression. I am so glad you guys are here today. I am excited to talk to you more about bullet journaling your symptoms, or really just tracking your symptoms, honestly. I did it through bullet journaling. You are welcome to do it in whatever way you want, whatever way works best for you. Today, I want to show you some of my old journals, and they are extensive. So first of all, I just wanted to talk about how important it was to me to track both symptoms and triggers to the symptoms. So since your body is an input-output system, it was really important to me to measure what we put in it as well as what we got from it. A lot of apps out there are really good at tracking output. That you can track symptoms, exhaustion, different pain here or there, like how long it lasts, how severe it was, all that type of thing. For me, I was convinced that it was something that I was doing to myself. Some kind of input was not correct, and I needed to see if I could pinpoint what that was and what was actually helping. So with this, I was very detailed and I was very strict about what I was marking and what I wasn't. As you can see here, I have labeled a few food triggers. So these were things that I had noticed over time, if I had them, they would tend to make me worse, either that day, the next day, or the next week. So as you can see on the side, I have how much of that thing I had. I would mark a bite or a splash. Yes, I would. So if I had a splash of cream in my coffee, I would mark it down. If I had a full serving of something, it was either like a cup of yogurt or something like that, and I would always make sure to mark that down as well. You can really do this with anything you feel like might be a trigger for you. If you go to the next page, I have more of the output system. I have what parts of my body were affected by my joints. And over to the side, you can see how they were affected. So if you can't read my messy handwriting, I'll read it for you. It says pain and swelling, stiffness, can't bend, can't straighten, and just swelling. These were all things that would happen to me on a daily or weekly basis. And so I wanted to track them along with what I was tracking, along with tracking what I put into my body. As you can see here, I didn't just say hands or feet or anything simple like that. I had very specific left versus right and what type of symptom showed up on each limb. On this page, I have shit I take. As you can see here, there are some things that I took quite a lot. One might say almost daily. And then there were some things that I rarely took or I meant to take and just didn't tend to. This one is also symbol coded, where I have bubble, muscle, or tendons. I had the same areas that I had before on the joint page, except these are just a little bit different, where I wanted to make sure I included all the symptoms that I had. On this page, I have general health. I have different things here like migraine, eye aura, insomnia, night sweats. I wanted to put down as many things as possible that I experienced. As you can see, most of the things I did not experience. Other things I experienced quite a lot, so I was glad I had them to track. Through this process, over the years, I narrowed it down to what things I just really couldn't eat ever and what things I could eat some of and be fine. As you can see from this journal later on, I had added several medications. The first one didn't have any medications, which is probably why I had so many symptoms. This one, I was taking Plaquenil, prenatal vitamin, tart cherry, and colchicine. I also have different triggers on the food page, but I still have a little bit versus a lot, where a lot would count as a full serving and a little bit would probably just be a bite. With the joints and muscle page, I combined them so that I made sure I had it all on one page. It was too much before where I had them separated with flipping back and forth. I just wasn't super comfortable with that. I also, at the end of the month, would always mark down things that I noticed and any medical problems I would have along the way that weren't just my daily painful symptoms. So that is how I would do my journal. Again, it is so important to track triggers, and what I would encourage you to do when starting your own journal is to just start with one or two things. So make sure that you have some kind of idea of things that you want to track or things that you wouldn't mind taking out of your diet. For instance, I like talking about soda because I know it is a really big trigger for a lot of people and something that is also very hard to quit. So if you get off of soda for 2 weeks and you track how you're feeling every single day of those 2 weeks before and then after when you get back on it, pay attention to exactly what is going on in your body. And you can usually see the graph of how that looks, where it'll be like, 5 days after you haven't had soda, you're still feeling like trash, and then you start to feel a lot better, and then you have it again, and a couple days later you start feeling like trash again. It might not be soda for you, it might be chocolate for you, or something else that other people might be able to have all the time, and for some reason it just does not agree with you. One of the things I noticed with myself, especially during my pregnancy, was eggs were making me flare. That is something that I could eat before my pregnancy and after my pregnancy, no problem. But for some reason during my pregnancy, it just did not agree with me. Potatoes are something that make other people feel really good and they're really healthy for you and all those things. That was something that is a never food for me. It definitely is. Even now when I'm in full remission, I still try to stay away from them. I might have like one French fry or something, but it's definitely not something I even want to mess with because it was such a hardcore trigger for me. So I would encourage you for the first month, don't write down triggers or anything. Just write down different foods that you eat all the time, and then different things that you experience all of the time. And then, if you want to separate it in between, maybe emotional health versus physical health, or, joints versus muscles, or like however you find that breakdown. This is one thing that is so hard to do, especially on an app or any, even like making a PDF for somebody else to follow or something like that. It's really hard to do because your symptoms might look completely different from mine. So with me, mine was a lot of joint pain, a lot of muscle pain, stuff like that. Other people, it might be headaches. I really got lucky and I didn't have a lot of lupus headaches. Other people, it might be rashes. They just suffer so much with rashes and bruising and skin discoloration and things like that. That was another thing that I didn't really struggle that bad with. I had some. They weren't fun when I did have them, but my main issue was the hair loss and the joint and muscle pain. So that is all I have for you guys today. I'm going to talk more about bullet journaling your symptoms in the future, but that is just a quick overview of what my journaling system looked like. And I hope you guys have a great day. Please feel free to reach out to me either here or on Instagram if you guys have any questions at all. I'm so passionate about this and I love talking about it. So if you have anything that you want to ask, where you want to know where to get started or any advice or anything like that, just please reach out to me and we can brainstorm what kind of method would work best for you. So I hope you guys have a great day and I'll catch you on the flip side.